This stepmother is a bit interesting. After her husband died, she used the excuse of being too sad all day to let her stepson play with him. But this aroused the dissatisfaction of her daughter-in-law. The stepson just chose to avoid meet with his stepmom, and stepmom didn't see her stepson for 2 days, just to pretend to be sick to beguile her stepson. But the people she finally waited for were her daughter-in-law and granddaughter. So she immediately turned around and went upstairs to put up the photo of his died husband. This is so-called go to the grave to burn newspapers, fooling ghosts. However, the purpose of the daughter-in-law's visit today is not simple.
같은 여자 입장에서 어머니 생각하면 좀 마음이 그래요. 너무 힘드실 것 같고 불은 불로 끈다는 말도 있잖아요. 누구 만나보실 생각 없으세요? 잘 어울릴 만한 분요. 주위에 꽤 있는 것 같더라고요.
I have to say that the daughter-in-law's move caught the stepmother by surprise, but the stepmother is not easy to deal with and rejected it on the pretext of missing her dead husband. However, the daughter-in-law still had a later move. She immediately said that the stepson also hoped that. Sure enough, when heard the stepson also meant the same, the stepmom's face changed greatly and stopped the talking.
됐어. 나 이제 환장하거든.
Then went upstairs. The game ended with her daughter-in-law winning.
우리 지아 아빠 눈독 들이지 말고요. 감생심. 주무세요.
But the stepmother refused to give up. The next day, young stepmom lied that she was ill and wanted her stepson, who was a doctor, to visit her. Although the daughter-in-law knew that she was pretending, it was hard to expose truth like this kind of thing, or people will say you are unfilial, only to massage her husband. This term was winged by stepmom. Although they were at war, the daughter-in-law still cooked porridge for her mother-in-law. But this porridge didn't taste well. Eat some food or you'll faint again. Elderly people are prone to falls in the toilet. What? You call me elder lady? Of course you are an old woman or a young woman. If a woman does not eat a meal, her eye sockets will be sunken. Are my eye sockets be sunken? A bit. Obviously, the daughter-in-law's words deeply hurt his stepmother's careful liver. The stepmother had to get up and drink porridge. With tears in her eyes, she wanted to drive away the daughter-in-law. But how could the daughter-in-law let her succeed?
어서 가. 걱정 말고. 그래야 나 혼자 낫지. 애비 이리 올 텐데요, 뭐. 잘 가 머리야.
At this moment, the doorbell rang, and the stepmother thought it was her stepson. So she hurriedly lay down and continued to pretend. But when the wife opened the door, she found that it was her husband's colleague. She was overjoyed to know that her husband had listened to her and had begun to stay away from her mother-in-law. In front of her mother-in-law, she also showed her husband the message that her husband could not come. The angry mother-in-law had no intention to be sick, but just when the stepmother was still thinking about how to trick her stepson to visit her, outside the gate her husband is back.